some good funding, and
Okay,
I'll
well,
make it.
we are live on YouTube. Okay, I think we're live on Twitter. I think we're good. Okay,
Let's go.
sweet. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Arena live stream. This is the pre-show, and we're just enjoying some Studio Ghibli memes here. Dan, we got a little something for you as well. So, but yeah, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
Good. Excited for this.
Yeah,
All right.
excited to be here.
Guys, I'm super honored. Nelson and I, we kind of kicked off the whole live stream speed build battles. With Webflow, and so it's awesome to have you, Dan, and Gary join us as commentators to get in on the action. So this is a new thing. This is Rive, and so I thought it was a fun idea. And there's just so much you could do here in Rive. So curious to hear what you guys think about that.
Yeah, Rive is such an awesome app. I haven't used it yet, but what people are doing with it is amazing. And the fact that they helped bring back to life 2 Advanced, one of the I wouldn't say childhood, but like my early career heroes. I mean, I remember when they did the first SpaceX website, they did stuff for the Ford Mustang, and they were just playing with Flash in a whole different way. And they were the studio to go to if you had a huge marketing budget and you wanted to make a big announcement, a big marketing moment for your product. They were the ones to go to. And now that Rive has brought, and like if you go to their website right now, it just feels nostalgic. And I love that Rive was able to make that happen.
100%.
Love this meme. It's so good. This is from your stream yesterday, right, Dan?
What, are you pulled up something? Hold on. Where did I see that at? Oh, okay. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday in the stream. Two Advance is why I got started in design. Like, they were my heroes. Shane Yoki and Jordan, like those guys were just like, they're the legends of legends for me.
Yes.
And seeing the Rive stuff, it totally brings me back to that world, you know. And that, to me, that was the most fun time of design ever. Like, everything was alive, anything could happen. And I've been dying to get into Rive and try it myself. It's a little I used to be a Flash developer and all this stuff, so I'm afraid to get into it because I know I'm going to get just so addicted to it. And
Oh yeah.
I have too much design work to do. But I'm hearing a lot about Rive lately as like not only an animation tool, like a motion graphics tool, but like the place to design interfaces.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm really excited about. I'm really excited to see that.
I've been diving into it, the past 3 months, I would say, pretty hard every day. And but just to go back to 2 Advanced, I was 18 or 17 in high school when like the first 2 Advanced site came out, and I was like, it was all Flash, and I'm like, wow, it was complete next level compared to anything else. And so they've been able to recreate that, and they have a Discord server now, and they're kind of coming back with resources and everything. And you could talk to Eric, Jordan, and the co-founder there. Sorry, name is not coming off the top of my head, but Rive is I personally calling it Flash 2.0. Obviously without the negative stigma, because the stuff, I'll show some stuff I'm working on right at the moment, and it's just, oh my god, I haven't had this much fun since Flash, I'll be honest.
Can we bring back?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Can we bring back preloaders that take 5 minutes to load because it has a really pretty animation? Why not?
If they're cool, right? If they're cool.
Right.
All right, guys. Are you guys ready to kick it off? All right, let's do it. Hey, what's up, everyone? Okay, this is the arena. I'd like to introduce, we have Dmitry, Cayo, we got Abe and Jeff in the house. What's going on, guys? How you doing? All right. Okay, so this started from just a random idea, and I've always wanted to explore different platforms. And so we have Dmitry. He's actually a product designer from Rive. So I think he's a little bit OP, right? But I mean, it's all good. I think I want him to flex his skills. So yeah, Dmitry, let's start with you. Give me like a quick little intro, and then we'll pass it over to Cayo, and then Abe, and then Jeff.
Yeah. Basically, I'm just designer in Rive, and like, yeah, that's it.
All right, cool.
Let's see what I can do with it.
And what are you designing? What are you gonna attempt for today?
I gonna create some sort of switcher or something like that. Not basic switcher, but something more complex.
Okay.
What we can't really do anywhere. And yeah, let's see how it goes.
Okay, fantastic.
Dmitry has one of the best Twitter accounts, by the way, or X accounts, whatever we're gonna call it these days. Just full of inspiration, beautiful photos, all kind. You definitely follow that. It's one of my favorites.
Nice. Cayo, can you introduce yourself and where are you from?
Yeah, sure. I'm Cayo. I'm a product designer and UI animator. I'm from Nigeria.
Nice.
Yeah. I got into like UI animations basically just to make UI move, right? Because like static UI is so dead. So that also ties to what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be animating, a UI section, like a Bento section. So
okay,
yeah,
nice. All right, Abe, how about yourself? Where are you from, and what are you going to build?
Yeah, my name is Abe. I'm a brand/web designer at Dispel. It's a cybersecurity company, and based in Alameda, which is in the Bay Area. So I'll be doing a 404 page for my company and the isometric style. All this stuff is already laid out in Figma. I'll be importing that into Rive.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Jeff, my man.
I'm Jeff. Yeah, I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I do marketing in a nonprofit as my day job, and I spend as much of my free time using Rive as possible and teaching people how to incorporate Rive into Webflow websites, especially. And so today I'm going to be building a password screen. And if there's time, I'll get it hooked up with a little bit of runtime code too. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, so I know nothing about Rive, so I'm gonna be asking a lot of questions. Gary, you're kind of like my pro guy, so I think there's runtime stuff. I don't know all these terms, but we're gonna learn and find out in the stream. If you're watching on X, Twitter, repost this, share it to your friends. We got some awesome people here in the house. And if you're watching on YouTube, I see you guys. We got Jay, Alan, Baltazar, Austin. Welcome, guys. This is gonna be a good show. So, without further ado, shall we kick it off? All right.
Do it.
So let's switch it over to the screen here. We got screen shares happening. Okay, so we're gonna kick off a 45-minute timer, and we're gonna go. Ready? Ready to go? In 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Oh wow, we already got work started here. Nice. So we got a switcher, we got a Bento section, an isometric 404 page, and a password screen.
Whoop.
Let's check out how this all goes.
Man, this interface is intimidating too, with all these screens up here. I hope they're not watching this while they're doing it. They just got to focus in, lock in.
Oh yeah.
Time to lock in.
Okay.
I'm very interested to see. I know that they're just laying out all the assets right now, but I want to start seeing like keyframes. If I'm just we're all from the Flash days. For me, it was Macromedia Flash. Remember that name?
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
So, or going
Back in
even
the
further
day.
back, Shockwave, Director. Oh my god. Let's
Yeah.
show our age, but like, I want to see how you use keyframes to actually animate, or is it even more streamlined than that nowadays, because I haven't animated things since, well, the
Well-
only animation was Webflow interactions, but like,
So within Rive,
Yeah, you can-
have Oh, sorry, somebody else is talking.
Yeah, you can basically animate with the keyframes, with the transitions, and also you can create some sort of, as I'm showing here, state machine, and you can make states and transition between states. And in this case, you don't have to animate anything. It's basically Rive animating everything for you, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically you have a series of like unlimited timelines that you can create, and then you have a state machine which will allow you to control when those timelines, basically play, and you can reverse them, and you can add conditional logic to them, to the state machine. Can you think of it as like if statements almost, but it's no coding, of course.
Okay.
So it's really, really dynamic in the things that you can achieve. Whereas otherwise, before Rive, if you wanted to create some of these really crazy effects, you're probably using something like 3JS, and you're dealing with hand coding, especially before AI coding, vibe coding came out. Everything's done by hand. So it's like to be a designer and to have that understanding as well, it's like almost impossible. So to create these crazy next level UIs, you're typically working with teams, like a dedicated developer or whatever. But now designers can handle all this stuff, all the crazy interactions, and that's how it should be.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at Abe here. It looks like he has just the open canvas. Again, noob question. Okay, so he's working in Figma, and then he's copying over assets into Rive. Is that?
Can you literally just copy and paste?
Yeah, you can copy as like
copying-
SVG and just
Yeah,
paste it in.
exactly.
Wow.
SVGs.
Okay.
And right now I'm changing the anchor point for my switcher because I want to like rotate it this way.
Okay.
And you basically can press Y and
Yep.
change the anchor point, like whatever you want. For example, you want make it here, and you can rotate it like so. Very-
Dmitry's good when he's got time to sit here,
Yeah.
compete, and educate everybody. He's
Like-
no sweat here. I love it, man. This is cool.
All right, Jeff. And so, what are you up to now? You're playing around with
I'm
these
getting
little
some-
wooden little pieces here, right?
This
Yeah,
is
getting
sweet.
some components set up. So I did bring in a bitmap. I thought that might be interesting to show. So I just have this speckled image. I'm using it super stretched out for wood grain here.
Okay.
I'm going to use it on some metallic pieces in a couple places too. So I really like being able to use one image, one asset in multiple ways.
Oh, okay.
Keep that file
That's
size super
Such a
low.
good idea.
So yeah, it's pretty cool what you can do with.
I've never in my life thought to do that with like that kind of a file. Just stretch it out for the grain.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they also have end slicing,
Yeah.
which is the technique that's been around for a long time, like amongst like game developers, I believe, and designers. But end slicing is super cool because you can take both vector or raster graphics and choose which part of them stretches indefinitely and which parts repeat of the same graphic. So you can create like crazy borders that are responsive and things like that. Probably a lot of other use cases too. There is. But that's what I've been using it mainly for, is creating like interesting, like kind of like borders, like sci-fi borders or something. And it's just like one image and it just stretches automatically. And it's so simple to create.
Man, that's awesome.
Hey, chat. If you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the chat. This is my first time handling YouTube and X. So, do you guys still say Twitter? I'm definitely transitioning to say X now, but yeah,
It's so hard. I say Twitter.
yeah.
I always follow.
Twitter
always-
is X.
Yeah. I always go to say Twitter, but then I say or X, whatever. we're calling it.
Yeah.
I just can't get around doing that.
Yeah, it's a
But
weird,
it's,
it's weird saying a letter.
Yeah,
It'll
that's
always
true.
be Twitter in my heart.
Yes.
I mean, I don't blame them. If I owned a single letter domain name, I would probably use it too.
It's like, oh, for sure, 100%.
Okay, so we have Princo here from YouTube saying, "What's the best way to set up components for animations?" Ooh, Anyone want to take that?
Oh,
question
wow.
boards.
This is a question. What do you mean?
What do you mean? We need more context here. So
Yeah,
Nested
we need more
artboards are like a superpower in Rive. Create something once and use it multiple times.
right.
I'm going to try to demonstrate that a little bit too, but yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
one of the
Rive
most
calls
amazing
them
things.
nested artboards instead of components.
Okay.
And I was talking with the founder, and he mentioned, maybe they should have called them components instead.
Mm.
I believe with the new update coming out, I don't think it's public yet, but it's called data binding, which is a huge feature.
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to make dealing with those nested artboards a little bit easier, I think, because there was some issues that I had as like a little bit verbose in terms of like utilizing them to, like you would a typical component like in Figma or whatever. But now with data binding, it's going to make it all perfect. So the data binding thing, like there's early access programs if you pay for a membership. So people are using data binding right now, and they're experimenting with. I haven't touched it yet, just because it's not active yet in the runtimes, so you can't really use it like on the web, like for the JavaScript runtime or whatever. But the data binding is really going to open up a lot of possibilities, even more so than we already have.
So good. Yeah, and I think it was 3 months ago. Rive dropped a responsive design layout. Like that was
it's a
mind blowing.
Correct.
In terms of creating real components or cards or whatever. It's like, man, you can almost do everything in Rive. It's So tell me about this conversation. Like it's beyond just an animation tool or like a Lottie Files competitor. Like walk me through the power and capabilities that you see in Rive. Gary, this is probably for you.
Well, Dmitry might be able to answer it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
because he can talk and design at the same time.
I'll give my thoughts real
Yeah.
quickly. I mean, from my perspective, I've always been a web UI guy, but as a UI UX designer, we have to understand that there's also other types of UIs that you can create. For instance, the VSTs, the audio apps, those are the craziest UIs, the fun UIs to build. And if you just go to Dribble and type in VST, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So as a UI designer, Rive is allowing web UI people to have a whole new markets. So game user interfaces can completely be created from with here. I'm talking like large titles that are like have millions of, like hundreds of millions of dollars poured into them. They can use Rive, and you can create exactly whatever, type of game menu system that you want to create. And so if you want to answer the question, is it more than like Lottie? Well, Lottie is, for webs exclusive, but anything you do in Rive can be used in multiple runtimes, meaning multiple platforms there. Your browser, like a car interface. So that's awesome. Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I have for it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, can I take my take?
Please.
As I understand
Probably
it.
better take.
Basically, it's a design tool. It's like full feature design tool with everything in it. You can draw objects. You can use raster graphics for textures and for pictures and stuff. You can use raster graphics with the end slicing, which is basically you cut the raster and you can stretch it, scale it as you wish without destruction.
I mean, that's kind of what Cayo's doing right now.
Yeah. And you can use something called grid on top of the raster graphics, and you can basically like mesh. Yeah, it's like 3D mesh inside of raster graphics, and you can manipulate with the raster graphics, kind of similar with if you're familiar with the game Rayman. For example, which is completely raster, but everything feels very, very smooth and stuff. We have bones, like a basically skeleton, and you can use this skeleton with these meshes, for example, and so on and so on. Well, we have static editor where you can create vector graphics and raster graphics. Use raster graphics. You can't create raster graphics here. You have assets, and as an asset you can use, for example, Lottie here. You can import a Lottie if you want. And you have what we call state machine, where you can create timelines and logic Like you can use 9 timelines at the same time with a different speed, mixing up and stuff. You can use transitions, you can create logic, like what's happening if you click, what's happening if you move your mouse and stuff. And we have, for example, constraints. What if something happens, what happens else? For example, I can move my mouse and shadows from the objects can move with my mouse, basically. Well, it's like you create graphics here, you can create animation, you can create interaction design here. Like it's not the prototype. You can basically build the button or switch or I don't know, like card and stuff. And you export it like a Rive file, which is our file, and you use our open source engine to run it everywhere on the Unreal Engine, on the, I don't know, web, iOS, Android, and so on. And also some editors like Figma.
Sorry to interrupt, Dmitry, but I do want to make you aware that you have 32 minutes left, so that's very informative. I appreciate it. I just wanted to let you know.
He had a better answer than me.
He just needs 10 minutes. He's a pro.
Yeah. If you're already done, it's like, okay, you can join us. Hey, Cayo, we lost you a bit. Could you please share your screen once again? We got a black screen from you. There you go. Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that. Do you see it now?
Yep. You're all good.
Sweet.
Man,
okay, so
like
Dmitry, I wonder, I mean, you're very relaxed. I mean, the audience is going to vote, so I wonder what kind of magical thing you're going to come up with. So this thing's going to rotate. Can you explain your thought process of, like, again, what you're thinking of doing
basically,
here?
I want to make it rotate, and you basically can move, can just grab it with your mouse, and you can grab it, but if you change your mind, it returns to the like previous position and stuff. It's like I want to make
like a
it
springy,
physically correct.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
All right.
Using our we have scrolling feature, and we can use scrolling for this
triggered by scroll. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, very cool.
And also we can create, for example, I want to show this nice example. I want to rotate this one.
Yep.
Again, if I rotate it, all drop shadows, inner shadow and stuff, they keep their position if I want it.
Cool.
And because it's not the drop shadow, it's not the drop shadow and stuff, it's actually fills. I can use fill with the feathering, and I can use gradient inside of this feathering, as you can see, to create the penumbra effect.
Okay.
And I can use inside of this layer blending modes, like color down, for example.
Okay.
Actually, you don't see it right now, but yeah. Right now, I do all colors procedural. Well, if I want to change one color in whole this picture, I can change it and everything changes accordingly. Because I do like full procedural graphics.
Yeah. Wow. Guys in the chat, if you have questions, again, drop it in.
Yeah, what's cool is like each one of those layers that Dmitry has, like the fills and stuff, they can have their own separate like blend modes and stuff, like if they're feathered, I think, which is crazy too, because that's how you can create this liquid UI, like the gooey, sticky UI. Yeah. Very cool.
Now, Gary, this is what you called vector feathering, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah. There's a little feather button that you can toggle on and off, and that's what we've wanted for a very long time within Rive, was be able to have blurs and glows and shadows and stuff like that. So they just released that, within the last couple months, and it's very performant. It doesn't slow anything down. I think they really had to reinvent the wheel in terms of how they approached it, but it worked. It works like amazingly. I love it, because now we're kind of getting back into, with that feature alone, you kind of get back in, it makes skeuomorphism and that type of stuff, possible.
Wow.
And right now, if you see, I rotate my tag layer.
So the shadow changes.
All my stuff just keep in the place. And actually I can create the light source, or like light bulb, or I can pretend my mouse is a light bulb and I can attach it to my mouse. and I can move my mouse and everything, like all shadows and stuff moves because it's not a shadow.
Okay, that's wild. Okay, let's go over to Cayo here. I mean, look at this beautiful dark mode bento layout that he's got going on. So, someone said, Anton W from YouTube saying, will Rive replace Figma? I mean, this is pretty wild. I mean, you got a full-on canvas editor here.
Yeah.
They got a lot going on. So you're taking
Yeah,
your
you
design
can
from
still use
Figma.
it if you-
Yeah. So you're copying the icons and then you bring it into Rive. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
Yep.
I'm
basically
just
draw
layering
everything
on the.
here.
Go ahead, Cayo.
I'm basically just layering. I have like a reference layer, so I'm building on top of that. So just positioning everything well first, then we get into animation.
Yeah, gotcha.
What's cool is when you import a graphic, like a raster graphic or something, they have automatic like compression options, like you can turn like WebP or whatever,
Yep.
right within the editor. And then to also to answer that question, will Rive replace Figma? It's one of those things. Because like when I first started using Rive, I would always step into Figma first to design whatever I'm thinking about, because that's what I always do. And then I kind of thought, I was like, well, wait, we have drawing tools within Rive, so it is possible to forego Figma. But people who are super familiar with Figma, I think there might be a few more tools that Figma might excel at. Again, I could be wrong. I have to really look at it more, but
Yeah.
you could definitely start from scratch in Rive for most projects if you wanted to. That would actually save you a little bit of work.
Okay. Interesting. Dan, I
Because
want to get your
Rive-
thoughts. I want to get your thoughts on.
I got one more
Oh, yeah.
comment.
Sure.
Because Rive can be used exactly like Figma because it's an open canvas. But
Right.
like Figma, you can also use auto layout, which you're kind of constrained. But you can also use layout, which they've, a few months ago they integrated. So you could do the same. It's the same concept. But if you don't utilize any layouts within Rive, then like if you integrate it on web, and like you have the canvas element like 100% width and height, it's just going to constrain everything down. Like everything's going to proportionally scale down. If you utilize layouts, of course, then you can kind of control it, make it more like a function, like a responsive web page if you had that type of project.
Okay, interesting. That's pretty wild. Dan, yeah, you have a strong opinion with Figma. I guess just
What?
well, come on, you've been making it public, so
I love Figma, and I
Of
love
course,
the people there,
we all do.
Of course. I just some of the changes, are just kind of it's a little upsetting. It's just a little hard. But like the new UI that's going to be there starting April, I guess early April,
Mhm.
which a lot of people are using or are used to, whatever. But I mean, I think it's time that somebody has the opportunity to pull in a new design tool.
Right.
I really do. I mean, Figma really hasn't had that much competition in the past several years.
Yep.
A lot of the other tools kind of faded away. XD Studio didn't even launch. Sketch still doing their thing.
Mhm.
And people finally moved away from Photoshop. It took a while, but they did. So it's exciting to see something like Rive that some people are saying could be, the next tool, because it has all this fun stuff built into it. And it can bring back some of that excitement from the web that I think some of these other design tools kind of, they just made it too easy to design. So design just got really, really simple.
Right.
So seeing Rive, what it's capable of, is really exciting to me. Like it would just be so fun. Like you don't have to no more of the dragging the arrows to connect all these screens and elements together, that gets confusing super quick. Like, bring it back to something like this that you could build everything. It'd be sweet. I still just want my magic button though. Whoever gives me my magic button just to make
Like
things
an
go
AI
live,
magic button.
yeah, just give me my magic button. That's gonna be the winner. But yeah.
This is neat
Yeah,
though.
but
I'm looking at Abe's screen with the timeline. So this like what's the difference between like a state function? Again, I'm a noob here, and then what he's doing with timelines. Is this totally different? Gary, do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm not sure what you mean specifically by states. Sorry, someone's calling me. But with the timeline, I can only guess what he's doing. This is going to be some type of interaction, perhaps, that plays, or maybe not an interaction. It doesn't have to be based
I think
on an
this,
interaction.
right? Isn't this like a state?
Oh,
thingy?
that's the state machine
Okay.
right there. That view.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where. And the state machine is comprised of, if you need it to be, multiple layers.
Okay.
So, and this is a hard thing to wrap your head around if you're brand new to Rive and this type of arrangement, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
And you know, you'll see it has like a entry, and you have another button or little thing that's called any state.
Okay.
And there's a like access. I never used that one, but you create these connections. You can kind of see them right now,
Yeah.
going back and forth between different timelines. And then you'll see these little conditional arrows pointing to
Yeah.
and from them. And when you click on those, you're able to specify different inputs and listeners. You can see it right now, but they're collapsed. But on his screen to the left, there's like an inputs, and then there's a listener section. You can kind of think
Okay.
of these like variables, and you can use the listeners, which can function based on like mouse out, mouse over, like mouse exit and move and all that stuff, and you can update those little properties
Yeah.
and those inputs. And those inputs are come in 3 different flavors: triggers, numbers, and Boolean values like true or false. And
Okay.
so with that
Wow.
logic, then you can create all this logical states of what can happen and all that stuff through the state machine, and control those timelines.
Wow, look at Jeff there. He's got this little blob going on. And look at those things firing off. That's wild. So this is the state machine, right? And then
Right.
it's somehow, it looks like everyone now at this point is starting to animate. So they're in this all in the same UI. That is so cool.
I'm building interaction stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, my mind's blown.
Yeah, this is the natural evolution of Flash. Thank you, Rive, for bringing it back. Bringing back the fun.
100%. Exactly.
And like I want to get into this. And like Dan was saying, like there's tools that, you know, like even though you want that magic button to just do everything for you, it would just make everything too easy, Dan. And then everyone starts to look the same again. And it's like, okay, how do you stand out? And so I think Rive is one of those that like, hey, you got to learn the craft. You got to
Yeah.
understand. And like what Dmitry was showing with the shadows and whatnot, like you got to understand lighting. You got to
Oh, yeah.
understand the fundamentals that like you can tell that a junior designer would
Oh, yeah.
miss when they just try to do something with AI generation tool or something. Like, sure, you can start with AI, but there's going to be those little things that a senior would catch that juniors don't and think they can just rely on AI generation. So
100%. For the record, my magic button is to go live, not to design. It's
Yeah,
to-
all right.
it's to hit a button and you have a beautiful website, you have a beautiful app, you know. So you're still designing, and you still
Yeah.
need to know all that cool stuff. But yeah, and that's one of the things that's going to help all of us stand out from all this AI stuff too. You know, you
Oh,
still
yeah.
need that human eye, that taste. You know, that's hard to get.
the
But,
trained, experienced eye.
yeah, right.
It takes years to be an overnight success.
Yeah, like Nelson, like you were saying, like back in the day when we had Flash at its height, especially maybe even early on, like in the early 2000s. You know, I remember it was terrible because we didn't have many patterns and stuff to fall back on, but we had all these crazy tools in the form of Photoshop and also for the form of Flash. So, you know, 95% of the projects made, you know, full Flash websites. They were like, oh boy, this is killing my eyeballs, you know, because it really does. I mean, the more tools that you have at your dispense, the more important it is to understand those fundamentals. That's why I was saying, like, now that Rive's becoming big, for this generation of designers that's been around, maybe they just started within the last 10 years, which is probably most of them. They're going to have a hard time because everybody's been trained on like flat design and stuff like that. But now the window's going to be, the floodgates are open, so to speak, on all the effects. And so they're going to have to learn how to kind of, you know, curtail some of those and know when to integrate them and how to integrate them. Color and contrast, all those things are so important.
I think that there's a lot of money to be had for these designers too. Like I remember when Flash was kind of at its peak, like we were doing $1 million websites, you know, for all these. Oh, well, I worked in advertising, so yeah, like the Epsonality website for Epson printers had like all these 3D things and like, all these little people walking around. You kind of go inside the printer, like it was wild. And it was literally $1 million websites. Just people just spitting them out for all these companies, and it was such a fun time. And like if we can get back to things like that, there's a lot of money to be had. This stuff is like even just watching this, like what everybody's doing here. I'm like, man, this stuff it's amazing, but I'm like, okay, how long is this going to take to learn? Do I have time to get in there and learn it? And a lot of people won't do that. So the people that can and actually take advantage of it, I mean, same with AI and everything. Like, there's a lot of money to be had for the ones that actually take on these tools and learn them.
I mean,
a question in chat. I forgot who said it, but it was something like, "What's the learning curve?" Oh, there you go. Kyle asked a while ago. Does anyone have a perspective on the learning curve for doing something reasonably cool in Rive? He has a background mostly in Figma and AI. So what's the learning curve? A lot of people ask that for Webflow as well. So I think I'd throw it to Gary for that one.
Yeah. You know, I would, it depends on what you think is what his definition of really cool is. You know, something really cool could be like a simple toggle button, you know what I mean? As long as it's really nice and designed with vector feathering. But anyway, you know, like somebody like somebody like Dan, who already has been a designer for a long time, already has the fundamentals down. Then it's just a matter of understanding the tools and the features itself. And there's quite a few different, you know, 4 or 5 big aspects of Rive. Like learning how to animate characters and vectors with the meshes and the rigging system. Like that's one whole area. And what's cool is a single person, like if they are expert in character design, there's a few people like JC Toon and Draws Good, like they could just make a whole living, not even touching UI stuff and just making characters probably and animating them. And so I would say if you were hardcore about it, you know, a couple months, you know, you would probably have a pretty solid idea if you worked with it, maybe an hour every day. Again, that depends on who you are and it's variable, but it's not too bad. And you can actually say, hey, I'm never going to touch rigging or mesh rigging ever, you know, and still be able to create really cool stuff.
For sure.
Dmitry, could you reshare your screen again? We're getting a black screen of death here.
Why?
I think people should understand too, like it's okay if it doesn't, if it takes like days and weeks to even just get the tool, like, and they need to understand that you need to put in the proper time to get really great at the tool to where you're like able to make tons of money. And it's okay if it takes a couple years to 3 years to 4 years, whatever it takes. Obviously nowadays tools change quicker and new stuff comes out way quicker than it did, you know, when we got started. But you know, it just takes time. It takes time, and the longer you put there, the better you're going to get, the more money you're going to make, the more you're going to stand out. It's all it is. People need to be okay with putting in the time if it's something that they really want.
Yep.
Oh, gotta learn those, and putting in the time is learning those fundamentals for your craft.
Right.
And again, like knowing when to use a glowing effect, knowing when to use shadows, typography, knowing what kind of imagery, like sure, AI generation can help you get there, but it's not going to take you 100%. So it's all falls back to where do you put that time? Same thing with Webflow. When people are like building stuff, it's like, yeah, I can see where people are messing up because they don't understand the fundamentals of HTML and CSS. So it goes for any creative industry, any creative tool that you use. Again, it's just a tool. Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna try to fix Dimitri's screen, but got some technical difficulties on the stream here.
It happens, dude. You're good.
But
Maybe I should re-int or something like that because I don't show anything. It's weird.
okay, let's see here.
Say Rive expert, but Jeff's bio says the Rive guy. So
You have to have a fight.
no pressure there, Jeff. But the Rive guy, that's saying something.
And on the
It's saying
poll,
something.
the poll says that on the YouTube poll, whose animation are you most excited to see? We got Jeff with 42%. So the
Okay.
the Rive guy, people are watching your screen and
All right.
expecting some
pressure. So
Did this
good.
to myself.
Where's this poll out? Is it under the tweet somewhere?
That's
Oh,
on
I think that's on YouTube.
Oh, come on. I'm on Twitter. Okay.
I know. We need more little functions like this on Twitter.
We really do.
Yeah. I don't know what happened with Dmitry's screen, but
Let's just say
don't
he's
know.
using dark mode, you know?
The timer also looks like it
oh
restarted.
yeah, reset. My bad. Well, you know what? I think we're just gonna.
I think there was 2 minutes left for Dmitry, and everybody
Yeah.
else had like 20 minutes.
Okay, I stop sharing my
seems
screen
fair.
right now, like at all.
Yeah.
Let's say share it again.
No, I see that. Guys, I apologize. This is the first time it's ever happened. Try to reshare it again. Okay, yeah, I see
Yeah,
that.
reshare it.
So I see it, but I don't know why it's not showing up here. Yeah, I don't know. Well, keep
Why?
going. Is there a way for you to publish at the end and share the link to me, and then I could share it on your behalf, Dmitry?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Or Dmitry could just take his camera. I know he knows how to operate cameras and just turn it to his desktop
Yeah.
or his laptop. Just turn it.
Maybe I can just like restart my browser or something. And it
Oh,
just
you know what you can
helps.
do? You can try to refresh the
Page.
the stream page that you're in, the video
Yeah,
ninja.
yeah, just-
Refresh that, pop in and out, and let's see if that works.
Okay, Jeff,
And then-
Cayo, this is your time. This is your time. Full speed ahead.
I gotta figure out this timer situation here.
Let's just call it 10 minutes? 12
Yeah.
minutes? Yeah. Well, I have 11:43 a.m. on my
Yeah, I'm just gonna take off the timer, and we got.
Yeah, nice. It works.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
We're back. We're back.
Sweet. But the design changed so much. Like, what happened?
He loaded up another project. That took like 4
Yeah.
hours, man.
Yeah.
It's like a cooking show, you know?
Exactly.
Like here, I'm mixing it, put it in the oven. Oh, magically, it's done.
After a quick ad break.
Ad break.
I'm gonna say, should we go for another 5 minutes? Let's go for 5 minutes, and then we got 10 more minutes remaining for the players to present, and then we can chat, answer some Q&A, and then we'll wrap up. At the end of the hour here, so we got total 15 minutes left.
At some point, I'd like to show mine. I'm not sure, maybe at the end, this thing I've been working on, but or maybe now, I don't know. Whatever makes sense, because it's fun.
Oh yeah,
Super
maybe at
fun.
the end. Maybe at
Yeah,
the
we'll
end.
do that at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll whet people's appetite, and then we'll cut off the stream, and we're like, okay, here's a link. Go join Rive or
No,
something.
that's not ready yet. Yeah, I literally just finished it. Yeah, so we'll see. This is like a little preview.
Well, Gary, is that the thing you're working on for your course?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
it's a project-based course on Rive and Unicorn Studio. So
Yeah.
it is so fun. Like I said,
You-
when I said I haven't had this much fun since like the 2000s, you know, this is what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Just going overboard. Love it.
Yeah, Unicorn Studio's been popping off. Hey, that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've always wanted a tool like that. I was like, why don't we have a no-code editor for 3JS or something like that? And like 3JS, like shader effects, and Unicorn Studio is one of them. Now, I do know that there's something called Paper. I have zero clue about what it is, but I think they're shaders or something. But I haven't seen it or used the tool at all. But yeah, definitely going to have competitors in that space.
Dan, you're hiding a little smirk there. I know you
I
got
know,
to sneak peek.
I tried to take it off really quick. It's like,
Oh, but yeah, I know some people have had access already.
So
Yeah.
you had early access, right? I mean, you don't have to tell, but like, what's your excitement level on a scale of 1 to 10 with the paper?
high. Yeah, 11 probably. Like,
Wow.
it's awesome. It's obviously still somewhat early, so it's got some time to cook over there. But it seemed as close to a lot of the features you would want from like Photoshop back in the day. You know, the way it cuts out images and quickly masks and things like that. All the shaders that were just really powerful. It's just a lot. There's a lot you can do there, on top of the ordinary design stuff that you would want to do. You know, very impressive.
Wow.
And super fast. So
Okay.
I'm very excited for paper.
All right.
There's also a couple other ones that I've got to play with too that aren't. They're not even tweeting out about it yet, or even the owners and founders. So there's a lot of stuff coming out.
I know
Lots of
this
fun
is
stuff.
supposed to be like, I have an NDA with them, but like, I'm just gonna show it off now. Here's
Oh,
There it is.
come on.
Sorry, I just had to show it off. I mean, it's
Love
so,
it.
It's so optimized, you know, and it's like
Paper.
it's so thin. It's thinner than ever. Like the
Mhm.
thinnest.
You buy that
product
for like
we've ever-
400 from Apple.
Yeah, thinner than any Apple product.
Yeah,
The texture, the sound effects that has too.
Yeah.
You know, it's got everything.
it's unibody too.
Yeah, it's reflective.
Amazing product.
Players, you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Oh.
It's home stretch, all right? This is the pressure, and this is the thing about these speed builds. It's like you need to prioritize what you really want to build. It's not going to be perfect, but you know what? Just getting it out the door is better than perfection. So there is no such thing as perfection.
I would say, just from looking at everybody's, I feel like Cayo's was the most involved. Like,
Yeah.
getting that done in 45 minutes or however long it feels very, very hard. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how much is going to be done here, because I mean, there's so much that he's building right here.
Yeah. It is cool to see their approach, because you got Dmitry and Jeff up top, where I'm pretty sure they all built primarily on Rive, and then Cayo and Abe in the bottom, they are doing a handoff from Figma to Rive.
Yeah.
So I'm curious why they built out their assets in Figma and then exported it into...
It's mostly just a case of I'm already used to Figma, so I'm used to building through Figma. Yeah, I work with like a lot of agencies, so they end off like the files in Figma.
okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
That's a nice workflow. Figma to Rive. All right, guys. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Chat. Let me know the colors of which player you think you're liking so far. Is it red? Dmitry in the red corner. We got Jeff in the blue corner. We got Cayo in orange, or Abe in the green.
Where am I able to see this chat that you guys are talking about?
Dan Rainbow. There's chat in Twitter. I think you just pull it up in the bottom somewhere, or if you're on the desktop, it's on the right side.
Okay.
And then yeah. And we're on YouTube as well. Polls are open. I'm gonna give it, say, 1 minute, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at, I love looking at the faces of the players. They're just like so concentrated. Sometimes all you see is just their forehead because they're bending over so looking so close at the screen.
It's pretty cool how we see all different types of applications for this. You have Dmitry doing some sort of like a component, whereas Jeff is doing something more playful. Cayo is doing something that's more practical for a marketing page.
Yeah.
And then you have a 404 page that's pretty fun but practical as well. And the whole glowing effect and the hover of those tiles is I love how versatile this software is looking.
Whoa.
Yeah, you seeing what
Yeah,
Jeff
yeah,
is
yeah,
dropping?
yeah, I
Oh,
see
that's
that.
crazy. All right, I'm gonna count down in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well
nice.
done, guys. Fantastic. How you guys doing? You feeling all right after that?
That was fast.
That went by really fast,
That was
actually.
fast.
All right.
I
Yeah,
never knew-
take a drink of the water.
Yes.
Okay. So on a scale to let's do a thumbs up, thumbs down. How do you guys feel on your design so far? Is it like you're like feeling okay? Yeah, okay, halfway through. Perfectionist here. Never happy with your work.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Dmitry, let's kick it off with you. And and
Well, you're
let's
gonna
just
start
have
with
you present your
Dmitry?
design.
Basically, it's a very, very simple showcase of, first of all, I draw everything here in Rive, like with the shadows, all of this stuff, with the procedural materials. Now I can change the colors of everything very, very fast. For example, if I want to change like background, I can change it pretty quickly, like so.
I love it. We're gonna get like a full
Yeah, and-
demo from Dmitry.
Yeah, like you can change background, and also I have parallel layer animation. You
Wow.
have like 2 layers here. One layer shows how this one rotates. Another layer consistently playing this loop animation here. It's do nothing, but it shows how you can mix different animations, basically. One animation for interaction, one animation for movement. And also I use joystick, this one joystick, and I used scroll
Okay.
to achieve this like physically correct switches. Like it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
work. Yeah, I just
Snaps.
like
Wow.
Oh.
That's detailed.
oh
It's like a momentum.
yeah, and
How'd
you
you do
can
that?
see how like our mixed animation changed the color as well, because
Wow.
one kind of animation inside of one timeline and another kind of animation inside of another timeline, and you can mix it as you wish.
Ooh. Beautiful.
Very
That
nice.
is really nice.
Yeah, and a huge plus of this approach to build everything here, to draw everything here and stuff, it's like just extremely small file size. I believe this one should be something about 4 kilobytes and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and also it's extremely performant. It works on the native FPS. It's actually way faster, but it's synchronized with your screen, and it's probably can run on the 1000 or 2000 FPS. But
Wow.
because I have 120, it runs 120. It's like sometimes it's even faster than native UI component. Yeah, and
Crazy.
also I can use sounds as well, as we have in assets. I can use audio, and I can make the click for the switching and dragging and stuff for that.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Nice. All right.
Nice.
That's a lot of detail, by the way. So I really want to acknowledge like the level of the shadows and like the little weighted momentum thing, and yeah, amazing. All right, Cayo, over to you.
Okay, for me, I have this Bento section here. So I built this with nested artboards. We have like all the tiny little pieces. Just going to go into each of these. So these I kind of like they play sort of like a loop, right? So if I play the entire thing, you see, everything comes alive together because I'm nesting the artboards, right? So it was a long shot. As you can see, I didn't finish up with the last frame here, and I couldn't get into much detail. But basically, yeah, this is the idea behind this. Something not too crazy, simple. It was a long shot, but yeah, I'm happy with where I got so far.
So good. Now, is there like a
Okay.
publish button in Rive that you can like export as a page or something? I'm
Yeah,
curious.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. So you could like share or publish. You could publish to the community, or you could share and like copy that code. I could send you this code so you could like preview it live. So
Mm.
yeah, if I just share you this link, you see it live. And like this is like Framer code as well too. I could send you this code. You know, it's live anywhere basically.
Okay, so you can share it as a like embed code, but can
Yeah,
you
exactly.
publish it on like a URL? Just like a little preview link? Yeah. Jeff is nodding his head. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Beautiful, my man. I love it. Dude, I didn't know that you can nest like a component again in this like open canvas style and then put it into this bento layout. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thanks.
Okay, Abe, show us what you got with this 404.
Yeah, so for the 404, just the idea that you landed on a 404 page, but there's different things that can just kind of turn your attention to other pages. A lot of this right now, so I give myself a sideways because a lot of it is explorations, right? So you see the blast radius go above the tiles, so that's not right. So there's a lot of tweaking that we need to do. I also just played with like what happens just to make it more fun, like, you know, on the grid itself. This isn't working for me. Again, I think a lot of Rive is just exploring, like just trying different things out. So after this live stream, I'm gonna go back and try to make it so that it looks really cool as you hover over the rest of the tiles, kind of lights up with a light trail. Then when you hover over these, it'll take you to the right pages. So very similar to everybody else, just using a lot of variants and components or artboards as they call in Rive. And one thing that I learned recently was just able to take a flat image here and being able to kind of fake isometric style. And that's really cool because then I can like change these up if I need to, and you'll see that modify on the
no way.
isometric plane. Yeah. So it just gives a lot more flexibility and scalability if I want to tweak it later on.
Wait, so you're
Yeah,
saying
so
like
that's-
if you change the 404 font or something, it'll change in the isometric artboard.
Change.
Well, it won't change the isometric. Yeah. So let me demonstrate. So again, what I have here is just to show, kind of be like placeholders where I'm going to place the final isometric 404. But like even the shadows, or if I want to change the lines, like it's going to be really painful to change the lines in the isometric style.
Yeah.
But if I were to change this, like the shadows, let's say, like let's move it down one grid, you'll see that updated right here.
Yeah, zoom in,
I
please.
don't know if you guys.
Right.
That's
It's
cool.
hard to tell because I have all these elements. If I move the 404, so yeah, I'll just move the whole 404 up.
Yeah,
and that'll
please.
be easier to see. So let's just make it all the way up here. So again, that's not the actual isometric, but that's just a placement. But you can already see like different designs.
But it's
So
linked.
like, for example, they're all
That's
linked.
cool.
Yeah, that's the magic of it.
Oh.
So later I'm gonna have like a little sign that says check these sites out, you know, in the isometric style. And then I don't have to like worry about the placement. I can just do it here and then boom, it's gonna update.
That is really
And
cool.
you also can make the nested artboard and duplicate it, I don't know, like 20 times.
Yeah.
And it just also works as well.
I'm pretty mind blown.
Nice.
That's like you can design a flat poster, let's say, and then you have another view that's isometric and skewed on an angle, and then you just design once and then it applies, and then you can have another artboard or whatever it's called. I'm so sorry about the lack of terms, and then have like a different view, but you just design once and then it applies to all these different views or perspectives.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
cool.
exactly right.
Okay.
You
Nice.
can create the navigation panel for it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Abe. Jeff, bring us home with this crazy treasure chest you got going on. If you can, try to zoom in or
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I wanted to try to show something that you might put onto a website. So this is a screen that would come down to kind of lock the site until you enter a password. So yeah, if I hit play here, it'll start off locked. And then as you type in characters, you would start to get the representation of the password, or if you delete them, they're gonna disappear. And then the idea is that once you get the password in, that would open up. I didn't put that in my the proper group there.
All good.
But yeah, I have a nested artboard up here too. So I have the star, is playing here, and it's got this setup where it's kind of jumping through a bunch of randomized timelines, and so it picks a random shape, and then it picks a random glow amount too, and then it just keeps cycling through those. I really love being able to do this randomized kind of thing and then reuse it a bunch of times, because every instance is going to be running its own state machine. Every one is going to have its own random pattern to it, and you can like chain a whole bunch of these things together. So I could like make one that chooses a random color, one that changes the rotation, like all kinds of stuff. So I just have that one artboard that is nested into this one, and so when I add these, and I'll zoom in, you can see like they're each doing their own thing, and so yeah, you can get some.
So how do you
very
achieve that
interesting
randomization in the state machine for the nested artboard?
Yeah, so when you I just make this like node timeline that's going to multiple different timelines without any condition on them.
Yeah.
There's a little check mark over here, randomize exit.
Oh, I never even seen it.
And I don't know if that's even on the screen here, but it's over here, randomize exit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And you can set that to do a bunch of them. You can wait, like, you know, if you want it to go to one more frequently than the others or anything like that. So they're all
cool.
Equally right now. And then, yeah, it just kind of loops through all those. And I didn't get this one set up with a runtime, but I do have a demo that I worked on before, which I can show if you're interested, but I don't want that to affect the voting because I didn't get that done in 45 minutes.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm still new on streaming on X. It just cut off right at the end of the hour. So, I mean, if people are, I did post. We're still on YouTube, so we're gonna open up the polls here on YouTube, and just you guys get to vote. Who's your favorite designer? And so that's gonna be really cool. Dan, Nelson, Gary, any questions on these designs or comments?
Only thing I can keep thinking is like the four of you here, y'all could make a lot of money if y'all get together and make an agency or something. Like this would be huge, you know. Y'all all have different styles and different ways of working, and it's so impressive. Like I'm blown away. I mean, I'm scared because now I want to try Rive and it's going to take all my time, but yeah, it's just blown away. Super impressed. Y'all crushed it.
Agreed.
Yeah, nice.
Y'all did wonderful. I think y'all should, if y'all create your own agency, call it More Advanced. You know?
No, not too advanced, but more advanced.
Oh no.
So good, Nelson. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just amazing what you can do in 45 minutes with your creativity and with this awesome tool. And just like Dan said, like it's gonna take so much more of my time now that it's like, ooh, a new hobby, a new tool, a new toy. Like let's play around with it. And it's like a lot of stuff that y'all are doing. I've been kind of doing it in a very basic way in Webflow interactions too, and I know that they've bought out GSAP, but like I'm now more and more convinced, like, dude, Rive, and just use Rive and put that into whatever tool, even Webflow, and I saw that you can export to Framer, like whatever tool. Like I feel like this is the animation tool to use because it is the evolved version of Flash, and it's giving me like nostalgic vibes, but making me like a kid again, like a teenager. Like, oh my god, let's make the web more fun, you know? Yeah.
Amazing.
So good job to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Gary, on it? Any thoughts on these designs?
Yeah, awesome. I love learning new things. So Jeff's, I didn't know about the randomization feature. Awesome. I mean, as everybody can see, you can spend not that much time and come up with stuff that would have taken you a lot longer to achieve through code alone. So that's the most exciting part is we can now just be creative faster.
Yeah. So good. Well, I learned a lot. You guys watching live, thanks for watching. This is really, really cool. Let's wrap up the poll. Let's see who won here. Here in YouTube. What are the percentages here? I don't.
Oh, we got a tie.
Where are we at here? What was it, Aaron?
Abe and Jeff, that's 29%.
Wow.
Oh, Abe and Jeff. All right, let's make it a tie here. Well done. Good
Crowd
stuff.
loves you guys.
I don't have any prizes other than just congratulations, and so hopefully,
Street cred.
with Dan's shout out, you'll get like $1 million gigs. So
He knows
That'd
a
be really
person or
good.
two.
Yeah,
Hey, can I show you guys
Jeff
that
gets-
project
Jeff
I was
gets-
working on?
yeah.
I would
Jeff
love to
gets
show
to keep
before we
his
conclude. Yeah.
Rive guy tag now.
I'll share
All
it.
All right.
So,
Um.
am I being featured yet?
Yeah. Can you share your? Are you able to share your screen in Video Ninja?
Well, I am now, but in Video Ninja.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
let me go
otherwise
back.
it's just
Yeah,
popping
yeah,
up
yeah.
within. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And then I can load that
Let me
in.
go back, and then Video Ninja says there's a button, share
There's
screen.
a screen
Don't share
share,
the
yeah.
wrong one. I have like 4 of them. Share.
Okay. Give me a sec, guys.
While he's doing that,
Yeah.
I think it'll be really, really helpful for the community if y'all could like tweet out or something the links to your projects that you're showing.
Mm-hmm.
Tweet they can like learn from you, because like this is what we're trying to do: educate each other, support each other, and like we want to know, how do you use Rive, and like how can we be as good as you?
So good. All right, we got Gary the Man showing us his skills here. This is using Rive and
Unicorn
Studio. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to come up with just a weird concept for a UI. And I came up with this weird capsule thing. And it's just a real quick tool to concept for showing the current ATH or the all-time high versus the current price, and just try to visualize it in some type of crazy effect and way. And so it's cool. This is obviously on web because it's in a browser. So it's also communicating with the CoinGecko API to get the real-time price and all this stuff. And this is all hooked up within Rive. And of course, there's a different overlay for the Unicorn Studio, like this fire effect. This 3D element is in Unicorn Studio. So it's kind of there just to augment the UI. You can do cool stuff like this. Of course, this here is all in Unicorn, or not Unicorn, but Rive as well. But what's cool is if I show you, like, it's like, okay, this looks real cool. What the actual Rive project looks like this right here in the editor. And so we're able to layer effects on top of each other. Oh no,
we're not able to see your Rive.
Oh darn.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no big deal. But anyhow, I'll releasing a course on Monday on how I built this. I already made the course, so it's probably like 3 or 4 hours.
Nice.
But I'm super excited because this is the type of crazy stuff I want to make. I mean, it's not the flat design anymore. I just want to go all out and have fun doing these types of user interfaces. And now Rive has essentially allowed me to do that.
All right, dude, that's so good. Right on. Yeah, we'll if you once you have the course description or the course links and stuff, I'll put it in the description.
For sure.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, guys, that wraps it up. So I hope you guys liked the stream. Dan, Nelson, Gary, thanks so much for joining as my guest. Dmitry, Cayo, Abe, Jeff, thank you so much. You guys survived in the arena. And if you guys want to watch more Rive content like this, let me know. This is, again, an experiment. And so, yeah, with that, any final thoughts anywhere, guys? You guys want to just share? Before we close, you want to share any news, Dan? What you're up to with your new stream with Brett?
Yeah, me and Brett from Design Joy every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central. We're doing just a design chat for an hour, so come hang out. And I had one more quick question for the guys up here. Are y'all freelancing? Like, are you available for hire for Rive stuff?
There you
Because I mean, there's always stuff to be thrown around. So just want raise your hand if you're available for hire or if you're too busy.
Hey.
All right, Jeff and Cayo. Right on, sweet.
I'm a full-time freelancer, so
Oh,
So
let's
I
go. Oh, okay. All right. We're gonna have to talk for sure.
So
That's
good.
how it happens.
Nice. And this is
Awesome.
what the stream's all about. It's all about connecting the community. It's all about giving you guys what you want. So again, subscribe, like, give me comments, feedback, and I just want to provide more stuff that you guys want. So with that said, thank you for watching, everyone. Have an amazing day, and feel free to explore Rive. And yeah, that's it. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.